I'm just asking. I'm asking. I'm not saying. I'm asking y'all now because y'all fuck black bitches. I fuck white bitches. Y'all are blacker than me. You can say yeah if you want. I'm just asking if that's how you feel.
That's a good point. That's a good point. The difference, and I'm not changing this because it's you.
No, I know that.
The difference between you is that you don't just do white women.
Okay, yeah.
If all you did was a white woman, and then you come up here saying, fight the power. We can't do that.
All right, cool. I get it.
You get what I'm saying? That's what niggas be doing.
All right, cool. I just wanted to know.
Oh, for the people. How are we for the people? You ain't for the people.
I would keep running. I don't want to be the ambassador for the black people.
You don't want to be the face of the league? You don't want to be the ambassador?
I don't want to be ex-Klan. I don't want to be Brother J.
Yeah, so he was ex-Klan. And then we find out you married Trish.
Yeah, I did that. Brother J. Yeah, I got you.
Brother J, listen, my brother, the Nubian power and all of that. And then he walk in with Trista. What we going to say?
Yeah, like, don't drink your juice in the hood.
And shout out to Trish, yeah.
But that nigga, that character from the Menace to Society parody.
WNBA, some pretty deep conversations over just a regular game. So Caitlin Clark got a flagrant foul on Angel Reese after a hit in the Fever versus Sky game. In the game, Angel Reese attempted to approach her and said, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" Meanwhile, Caitlin's teammate Aaliyah Boston is trying to hold Angel back. Angel's kind of pushing her out the way, just trying to get at Caitlin. After the game, Caitlin said it was just a good take foul. Either Angel gets a wide open 2 points or we send them to the free throw line. Basically, people have been going back and forth about this all week, all day. Mace, what was your opinion on what happened? What was your thoughts on the play? And then how did you feel about Angel Reese's reaction?
Because I saw this and I talked to a few people, there's several narratives right now floating through the ghetto, right? Right now, this is what the ghetto is saying, you know. They've been doing this to black guys the whole time. So it's just now made it to the women that a white person is pushing you down. So that's the first thing they're saying in the ghetto. The second thing they're saying is this is...
What ghetto do you be in? What ghetto is this? What are you talking? What ghetto is this, bro? I did not want because I want to know what ghetto this is coming from. Is it in America? Because I know you be all over the world. What ghetto is this coming from? My bad. I didn't want to cut you. I was just trying to get the origin of where this is coming from.
Okay, should I say my ear to the street? Is that better? I had my ear to the street. This is what they're saying in the street.
Ear to the street don't have to be the ghetto. Ear to the street can be where's rich people at. Why would you go straight to the ghetto? My bad, I ain't mean to cut you off. My bad. Let me finish here with the ghetto side.
Okay. Well, the first thing they're saying in the ghetto is that the way she was pushed down by Caitlin Clark is the way black men's been pushed down a long time by white people. So that was the first thing. No pun intended. The second thing, I think this shows that there is a pure hate that Reese has for Caitlin Clark. I'm not sure if this has something to do with the LeBron picture or the Michael Jordan comment, but this shows that there is something real between them two. And the third thing I looked at from my own vantage point is that she fouled somebody else really hard before Caitlin pushed her. So she pushed a member of the Fever and then Caitlin pushed her. So it wasn't just Caitlin pushing her, it was also you pushed my teammate super out of the way, and now you look like you're trying to get an easy basket after they let you go with a foul, and now she fouls her really hard. So I saw both of those things.
But did you answer the question?
No, that's what I was going to ask again. It took me a second to kind of, what did you, not the ghetto, not the streets. Mace, what did you think of Angel Reese's reaction?
Oh, I thought her reaction showed that I agree with the ghetto. I agree that that she got some animosity towards Caitlin Clark, and because the way she got up, it was a foul, but I didn't see it as that crazy of a foul. I think she was trying to. You ever try to foul somebody hard, but you're not strong enough to catch them, so they fall, and it's some acting in there too to make it look like it's more than what it was.
Yeah, I agree with what May said in the beginning. Not the ghetto. I don't know what ghetto and all that. But what happened is, and that's the problem. They're not showing it. This is what I'm talking about. If you watch the news, and not really the news, I'm talking about growing up watching the news, because now that the news is on your feed. They would start the news off the 5 o'clock news, 6 o'clock news, 8 p.m., 11 o'clock news with there's been a murder or it's a fire in this building. It's not the good part. They only save like 6 minutes of good part towards the end of the news. It's all drama when the news first comes on. You go to the shade room for drama. Sometimes they show some good shit. You go to the shade room and you sit there and say, so-and-so donates this, donates that. It's 2,000 likes. Niggas fighting, shooting, whatever, 200, 300,000 likes of comments or whatever, because everybody's opinionated on drama. Great point what May said. They're not showing that Angel Reese fouled the shit out this girl before Caitlin Clark actually fouled her. They keep showing the Caitlin Clark foul. To me, the shit that Angel Reese did was worse than what Caitlin Clark did. Caitlin Clark, it wasn't bad. She pushed this bitch out of bounds so she could get a rebound. Then Caitlin Clark actually, if you looked at the ref like, yo, you ain't call that? And then fouled her. Angel Reese falls, gets up, Caitlin Clark walks away, and now we're still talking about this 5-6 days later. You know, at the end of the day, so nobody remember Angel Reese doing this after she won the championship in Caitlin Clark's face and she had to take all that? What we want to do is make it a race war. And it's a right or wrong thing to me personally.
I want to make it a race war.
I don't want to make it a race war.
No,
that is the one action.
No, I'm just saying, like right now, shout out to Ryan Clark, and him and RG3 are going through some shit, and it's turning racist.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because RG3 got a white wife, and Ryan Clark had to take to where all because of this foul, and Ryan Clark's my man. I don't remember. I'm a real fan of his. I like his journalism and his working. From him becoming a football player to where he's at in journalism is really amazing. But his take was, we're talking about a foul, and this shit turned into a whole black woman growing up, what they had to go through and struggle, and they just don't see it. And I'm not saying black women didn't, but this is all from a foul. So it turned to a foul into Rosa Parks.
Who said that about the black woman growing up?
I'll read it after because I have it free.
All right, we'll talk about that in a minute. All right, cool, we'll talk about that in a minute. But I was going to put that in my take. But back to the foul. These two been beefing since college, to be honest with you. And to me, Angel Reese, and not even to me, it's really facts, but she vocalizes how the reason people love America or beyond America love Caitlin Clark is because Caitlin Clark needed a bad guy for you to love her. And she says she was the bad guy. She has no problem being the bad guy to Angel Reese's quote unquote good guy, good girl, whatever. And she's like, I'll play that role, but I know Caitlin Clark wouldn't be where she's at if it wasn't me. And even Angel Reese, she's a little braggadocious, man. You know what I'm saying? But because she's black, and we're talking about black and white and everything, and like I said, I'm not taking color out of it. I like braggadocious. I like people who pop shit. I don't have a problem with it. But what I'm saying is, when you braggadocious, sometimes people don't like that. Because she's black and white, black people gonna have a side. But what I'm saying is, she sits there and says, in 25 years, I know niggas is watching the NBA because of me. And WNBA, pardon me, because of me. And I'm not saying verbatim what she said, but it was something to that extent. Like, when little girls is growing up and he says, it's not a coincidence now, everybody's watching the WNBA and everybody's doing this, doing that, because she feels that she's the counterpart to what Caitlin Clark is doing. To me, all this shit is over a foul, bro. They stretching it. We talking about this shit done went into American history and black history and civil rights and all that other shit. It was a hard foul. To me, the foul was deserved. It would be a layup if you didn't get the foul. Wasn't no blood on the play. But if you look at the play before it actually happened, Angel Reese pushed the shit out of the girl on the Fever. And that's what led to the foul.
I think it's really silly to be racist, actually, black or white, because a lot of black women wear white people hair, and a lot of white girls want black girls' butts. So I think they both like each other in some kind of way.
I don't even get the correlation, but we'll feed into kind of what Ryan Clark and RG3 said because it is trending and I want you guys' opinion. So RG3 made a comment saying, after watching Caitlin Clark's flagrant foul on Angel Reese and the aftermath, there's no way Angel Reese can continue the lie that she doesn't dislike Caitlin Clark. I know what hatred looks like. Angel Reese hates Caitlin Clark, not some basketball rivalry hate either. It's hate. So then Ryan Clark responded, and this is what Cam was saying. The one thing we know about RG3 is he's not having conversations at his home about what black women have to endure in this country, about what young black women and athletes like Angel Reese have had to deal with being on the opposite side of Caitlin Clark's rise and ascension into stardom. So yeah, what do you think about their discourse? Because there's a whole other thing going on. And obviously there's more that's been said, but these are the two main quotes.
I am a firm believer, because that's a pet peeve of mine as well. I do not like people to talk up like they're for black people that have a non-black spouse. That's just a personal preference of mine that I don't understand. I don't understand how you speak for people that you don't prefer. I never understood that, whether it's a black intelligent woman that has a Caucasian husband. Not that there's anything wrong with her having a Caucasian husband, but I think at that point, to be the voice for black people, you got to be excluded from that. We have great artists that tries to go on black rants, but then you marry all white women. I think that kind of excludes you from being the voice of black people when you don't prefer them yourself. So to actually stand up for something you don't prefer is kind of like an oxymoron to me and to my intellect.
As far as what RG3 says, read it again?
Yeah, what did you... you want me to read it again or just the question?
Mm-hmm.
Just the question.
Yeah, basically, what did you think, Ryan Clark's correlation was to what RG3 had to say about Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, the hate thing?
I said it already. Like I said, RG3 is a great journalist, especially what he does on ESPN, the pivot, so on and so forth. But I just thought all of this over a foul. What I took from that, to be totally honest with you, is that Ryan Clark never liked RG3. Because he started saying that he said, you're terrible. He said, Ryan Clark said, you was a terrible teammate on the field and a terrible teammate off the field when we was on NFL Live or ESPN or whatever. So I'm taking it that he never liked RG3. And he said, and he basically finally found the reason to let him know that he didn't like RG3. That's how I took it. But then RG3 doubled back and said, you crossed the line talking about my wife, this, that, and the third, and you went too far. And ESPN, they should be ashamed to have you up there. What I took from that was you trying to get the nigga fired.
Yeah, definitely.
He wasn't even on ESPN when he said it. He was on his show, The Pivot. It wasn't even an ESPN thing. But I believe that RG3 may be bitter because he got let go from ESPN. But for what Ryan Clark said, the way I take it is this. He never liked RG3, and he been looking for a reason to tell niggas he don't like RG3. And this was the door that opened so he could say his real feelings about him. For him to say, you was a terrible teammate on and off the field and on TV too, this sounds like he been wanting to get this off his chest. Called him corny too.
Yeah.
He said you corny and all type. He was dissing him.
Yeah, it definitely went in multiple different directions where it didn't need to go. And like you said, Ryan Clark definitely did take the opportunity to throw a jab at RG3. But as far as RG3's initial comments, I just feel like it was a little tone deaf because I just feel like people feel some type of way about Angel Reese for certain types of things. And then the platform that you have being a media person, I think feeding into the constant negative narratives that she gets for something like, even though, yes, I do think that Angel Reese overreacted, but in that moment, in the heat of the moment, they're trying to win the game, don't know what was going through her head. She's probably pissed off because she's like, I know this girl just ain't hit me like that, even though it shouldn't be that serious, but whatever was going through her mind, she acted on impulse.
What do you think went through her head? Because you keep saying that. What went through her head? In
the spur of the moment, when she was thrown down to the ground and she looked up and it was Caitlyn, mind you, the media already does this whole thing with them. That's annoying.
Okay, but what went through her head, Stat?
That's what I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Whatever specifically went through her head.
The black girl power shit, man.
It was hate. It was hate.
No, but that's because there's some words.
It was, nigga, I know you.
No, but what I'm saying is,
that foul wasn't even that crazy. Yo, but just saying Stat, you be like, I got fouled. You look up, oh, it's you. So go crazy. That's what you're saying?
No, I'm saying in the spur of the moment when she looked down and Caitlyn Clark, and it's like they already have a rivalry. Like, just like, I don't know, the rivalry that y'all had when y'all were in school and stuff like that. Certain teams, yeah, it's gonna be more fire. But I don't think that insinuates hate.
What I'm trying to say, it is hate.
No,
it is hate.
I think the term.
There's some people growing up, I hate it.
That's fine.
I may have gotten past it a little bit, but I feel the way I felt about it.
Which is fine. And that's where we go back to the different lens between living through things and seeing things, because I've never in my life ever said I hated somebody, and that's just me because I don't use those. There's certain words that are trigger words that I'm not going to use because I don't feel that way. So when she got up,
did she say, I greatly dislike you? This is that cat out in the bag.
No, she didn't. She didn't say, I dislike you. She just said, what the fuck is wrong with you?
This is the shit that Stat do when it's black female athletes.
No, because.
And she sticks with them. And
That's not even what I'm saying, though, because I said she overreacted.
Oh, okay, my bad. I thought you said this.
Oh, you holding her accountable.
Finally. Okay, my bad. This is your good job,
They don't want me to spit into my tape.
Good job, man. Good job, man.
Yeah, you're a public figure.
Can I finish? What I'm saying, I said Angel Reese overreacted. I don't know what went through her head when it happened, but I'm sure spur of the moment she was frustrated. But the term hate is a strong word. And so I think for RG3 to then see that play, make a whole 2-paragraph thing about Angel Reese hates Caitlyn Clark, like, you already know the narratives that people feed in. I just feel like with your platform, why would you feed into that knowing that people quite literally discredit her when she doesn't even probably hate anybody?
What I'm trying to say,
she's just a competitor.
I'm in agreement with you. I'm saying even RG3's comment can be seen as hate because he don't prefer black women. To some
I didn't even get to that part yet, which that is also your opinion. I do think the messenger matters.
That's not my opinion.
No, but you did say.
That's what the ghetto says.
No, you said that. You said because you don't agree with certain people who have certain partners, you don't feel like they should be allowed to speak on certain things, and that's fine.
No, that's a fact.
Exactly. We're on the same page.
Fact.
I'm confirming what you said.
The
I'm
messenger,
not saying that.
No, I'm saying it. The messenger matters. The messenger matters.
Y'all blacker than me.
Huh?
That's also not what I said.
I'm just asking. I'm asking. I'm not saying I'm asking y'all now because y'all fuck black bitches. I fuck white bitches. Y'all are blacker than me. You can say yeah if you want. I'm just asking if that's how you feel.
That's a good point. That's a good point. The difference, and I'm not changing this because it's you.
No, I know that.
The difference between you is that you don't just do white women.
Okay, yeah.
If all you did was a white woman, and then you come up here saying, fight the power. We can't do that.
All right, cool.
You get what I'm saying? That's what niggas be doing.
All right, cool. I just wanted to know.
Oh, for the people. How are we for the people? You ain't for the people.
I would keep running. I don't want to be the ambassador for the black people.
You don't want to be the face of the league? You don't want to be the ambassador?
I don't want to be ex-Klan. I don't want to be Brother J.
Yeah, so he was ex-Klan. And then we find out you married Trista.
Yeah, I did that. Brother J. Yeah, I got you.
Your Brother J, listen, my brother, the Nubian power and all of that. And then he walk in with Trista. What we going to say?
Yeah, like, don't drink your juice in the hood.
And shout Shout out to Trish, yeah.
But that nigga, that character from Don't Menace, the Menace to Society parody.
Yeah.
He was a super duper Muslim and don't drink your juice in the hood. One of them shit. That shit was hilarious.
So when when RG3 gives his take, because of that is his reality, it makes his commentary comes across as vague and pretty much desensitized, and sometimes that's the case.
So that's what I'm interpreting Ryan Clark was trying to say. I just think regarding the relationship, that didn't get translated well, because I do agree with you, but I also don't think that his opinion should be discredited because he's married to a white woman. But at the same time, it's like, if you always have certain comments that look a certain way and then you're never really around us and that type of thing, it's like, okay, where is this coming from? So like, to that point, like, I do agree, but also he's allowed to make a statement. I just don't think that he should feed into the narratives that we already know are like annoying, because that
I think he still could have a voice, just maybe on a different subject, Yeah, just on a different subject. Like, I'm gonna ask you something, right? Okay. This is just a question. Like, when women get their hair done, right? Okay. Where do they mainly get their hair from?
I don't know.
Okay. Malaysia.
So it would be like,
at a hair company.
Yeah, it would be like talking against Malaysia while having Malaysian hair in your head and trying to be a voice against Malaysia while you're wearing Malaysian hair. That would look crazy to the person that knows you're wearing Malaysian hair.
Kind of like cultural appropriation to an extent.
Exactly, cultural appropriation. That's a great word. Thank you, Stat, for your journalism.
That's what I do. But I don't see the correlation. This might have to be continued, because I do think this is a good conversation. But I see where you're going. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
he can't culturally appropriate. Like, he's still a black man. But I get what you're saying. But also, he is still a black man, so he can make those comments. But it's not sounding right coming from. It's the messenger.
It's the messenger.
Okay. Yeah. We're on the same page.
My point is this: is that RG3 to me is smart, because I didn't even know RG3 had a podcast. Now we up here talking about RG3. Mm-hmm. Niggas got to know what be clickbait and what niggas want to grab and make stories and so on and so forth. I ain't see RG3 since he got canned from ESPN. Now we sitting up here for 15 minutes, which is a great topic, for 10, 15 minutes talking about RG3 and Ryan Clark. When's the last time you brought up RG3 name? But because he's talking about Angel Reese or Caitlin Clark, now it's a topic. So salute to you for getting the clickbait, nigga.
Was the real problem that his wife was in the background with the tea, nodding her head? Was that the problem?
Well,
I didn't see that. That's more spice.
That was the real problem.
That's more fire.
She was in the back with the tea, nodding her head when he was popping off, and that made him, you know what I'm saying?
So she put him up to it.
That's what it looks like.
That's what the streets is saying. That's what the ghetto is saying. They put him up to it.
To be continued.
What's her name?
But I don't know. And we're not even gonna bring
shout out to Ryan Clark. Shout out to RG3.
Yeah.
And all the people that like what they like.
Yeah. I don't know. Like we all said, it was literally just a foul and it came to all this, but shout out to them for getting one of the most views in a WNBA game in recent years. There's a lot more to come, but that is all the time that we have for today. Thank y'all for watching, and as always, it is...
That flagrant foul between Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese simply refuses to disappear. Clark caught Reese with a hard hit during the Fever vs. Sky matchup, and nearly a week later, the debate is still burning online. But now, the hottest discussion isn't coming from ESPN or the usual sports panels. It's coming from the It Is What It Is podcast, where Mace and Cameron spent more than 20 minutes dissecting practically every layer of the controversy. Before getting into their opinions, let's rewind to what actually happened. Clark went in aggressively on Reese, resulting in a flagrant foul call. Reese immediately got heated and appeared ready to confront Clark, forcing her teammate Aaliyah Boston to step in and physically keep her separated. Afterward, Clark defended the decision, essentially explaining that she'd rather take the foul than watch Reese walk away with an easy basket. From a basketball standpoint, that's a pretty straightforward explanation. Yet online, the incident quickly became something far bigger than one foul. Mace opened the discussion by explaining that he'd been hearing several different narratives and decided to examine them individually. The first argument he brought up was that some people viewed the incident as another example of a white athlete's confrontation with a black athlete receiving enormous attention, despite comparable moments involving black male athletes happening for years without the same media explosion. The second explanation centered on the rivalry itself. May suggested that the incident could be connected to the long-running tension between Reese and Clark that dates all the way back to their college days. He also raised the possibility that previous comments involving other players could have added even more fuel to the situation. Then came the third issue, and honestly, this was the point the hosts kept returning to throughout the conversation. They argued that important context had disappeared from much of the coverage. Just before Clark committed the flagrant foul, Reese had aggressively moved another Fever player out of her path. So from their perspective, the incident shouldn't be viewed as Clark simply attacking Reese. It was part of a larger sequence of events, and strangely enough, the action that happened first barely received the same attention. Cameron then jumped into the discussion with a criticism that eventually became one of the main themes of the entire debate. He argued that platforms such as the Shade Room, along with traditional news outlets, naturally gravitate toward the most dramatic version of a story. The reason is simple. Conflict creates clicks, comments, and engagement in a way that positive or complicated stories usually don't. His argument was that Reese's earlier contact with the other Fever player effectively disappeared from the larger conversation. Meanwhile, Clark's flagrant foul was replayed and discussed almost everywhere. And that's where the bigger media question comes in, because outrage is often much easier to sell than nuance. From there, the conversation moved toward the reactions from RG3 and Ryan Clark. RG3 posted that after seeing the replay, he found it difficult to believe Reese could continue saying there was no genuine dislike between her and Clark. Ryan Clark fired back with a very different perspective. He essentially argued that RG3 couldn't fully speak for what black women stardom. This was the point where Mays and Cameron really started separating on the issue. Mays was extremely direct about his position. He said he personally has trouble with the idea of someone being treated as a representative of a community when their own personal relationships don't appear to align with that community. To him, that creates something that looks dangerously close to a contradiction. He applied that same reasoning when discussing Ryan Clark's response to RG3. The show's third co-host offered some resistance to that argument. He agreed that Reese appeared to overreact in the heat of the moment, but he also felt that questioning RG3's credibility based on his marriage distracted from the larger issue. He argued that turning the situation into a narrative where Reese automatically becomes the villain was also unfair, especially because nobody outside of Reese truly knows what was happening in her mind during that split second. Another part of the discussion focused on whether Ryan Clark's criticism of A'ja Wilson was actually about the basketball incident in question. The hosts questioned whether some of those harsh comments could instead have been influenced by old friction between Clark and Wilson from their earlier broadcasting days. In other words, they floated the possibility that a personal score was being settled beneath the surface of what looked like an ordinary basketball argument. By the time the conversation wrapped up, the hosts had reached one major conclusion. Somehow, one physical play during a regular season game had expanded into a massive discussion involving race, marriage, media incentives, and unresolved grudges between sports personalities. And according to their perspective, that may reveal more about the way sports media functions in 2026 than it does about the actual foul itself. Cameron summed up the absurdity of it by pointing out how much attention had been generated from a single physical play, while also acknowledging that all that controversy brought major eyeballs to a WNBA game. And from a league perspective, that kind of attention isn't automatically a bad thing. So now the question is where you stand. Was this simply a tough, strategic basketball foul that somehow got turned into a much bigger controversy than it deserved? Or could there be something deeper driving the tension between these two stars? Let me know your take in the comments, because if this conversation has taught us anything, it's that this story is nowhere near finished.